Hail Internet, it's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here today talking about the Lazarus Project, Season 1, Episode 4. We open with a flashback to 1981.
Yes.
We see little infant Shiv suddenly jump forward 6 months in development. Why? Because he can innately sense the reboots and remembers the undone year.
That's right, he's a mutant. They should have checked the door if Professor Xavier is going to stop by.
That's right. I would like to take him to my school. We then see Shiv's life as he grows up, thinking himself, in fact, to be a superhero, a la X-Men. I think there's in his notes, he's like, am I a superhero? He tries to financially save his uncle's store by remembering horse races and then making long, odd bets. Though when the time comes to donate the cash, he buys a video game instead. I thought that was kind of funny. So he's a teenager. Like, wow, video game. Look, I got the money right here. Then
that was his Uncle Ben moment.
His Uncle Ben. Yeah, great point. Uncle Ben! Because his uncle is, in fact, killed in a fire, which at the time seems presumably started by fascists. There's a reset. And then Shiv goes to the store to stop the fascists, only to discover that his cousin was actually planning to burn down the store for the insurance and framing the fascists in the process. Shiv saves his uncle's store, saves Uncle Ben's life, unlike Spider-Man, but his cousin appears to be going to jail for attempted arson. So it's kind of like he couldn't fix everything in a way. And then Wes shows up to recruit young Shiv to the Lazarus Project.
Yes.
That's our big flashback. We end with George killing Shiv.
Yes.
But promising to bring him back with a reset. Shiv says that he'll be chasing him as soon as he wakes up. George also has Reborov kill the only other person who knew what Shiv was up to. I think the guy's name was Ryan.
Yes.
I could be wrong.
Yes.
I do like that scene in that they use the code that we learned from the last episode.
Yes.
So it's Reborov and Janet had worked out this code that when someone says big plans are afoot, kill that person.
Yes.
And so creatively, Reborov finds a way. It's like, this cell doesn't stop me from killing you.
Yeah.
And then we see George driving away towards the bomb somewhere in rural Romania with a dead Shiv in the trunk. So all that said, Paul.
Yes.
What'd you think of episode 4?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Shiv is one of my favorite characters in the show. And so you got to see his origin story right there, and that was fun.
It was fun. That was a fun origin, I agree. I liked the ups and downs of it.
Yeah, and hopefully you appreciated that at least they have one person in there asking questions.
Right. Come on, guys. Although I will say this, he's a little too secretive for his own good. Yes. I get it. That's kind of his nature. But I'm like, just tell everyone what you're thinking. He's so like, look, I'm not telling anybody else but this one guy who then gets killed off. So now no one knows. Anyway, like, oh, you were so close to being really on it, Shiv. Anyway. But yes, I enjoyed the episode as well. I mean, most of it is Shiv's backstory and then this kind of cross-continental chase sequence.
Yes.
I don't think that flight from London to Bucharest is quite as short as the show would have us believe. But that's, you know what? It's fine. They gave the little verbal justification. Oh, the taxi will get you there faster. Okay, got it. That's all you needed. You did it. You justified that somehow he could catch up with this guy, given that he had a huge head start. Yeah, so it was effective. George is still committed, and we see George, each episode, George takes a little further down the wrong path.
Yes.
And here, I would say, obviously, he still thinks like, hey, by shooting Shiv, he's just going to come back and it's fine. But he also, orders Ryan's death.
Yes.
So he's like, he's killing more and more people. Yes. Although in his mind he's rationalizing, they'll be back as soon as.
Yes.
Now, question.
Yes.
Does that tech guy Ryan, does he remember resets, or is he just like brought in to be tech support and doesn't understand what? Is he? You know what I mean? Like, in other words, if he did remember, then his memories would be important as the Lazarus folks try to figure
Sure,
out what
right.
happened.
But if you remember how George did it.
No, right. You're right. It wouldn't necessarily free Shiv or whatever, or implicate George, because, it looks like Shiv is the one who sent him to his death. But I'm just saying, does he have memories or no? In other words, does everybody in the Lazarus Project, everyone we see, do they all remember each reset?
It's my opinion that is the case.
Okay. So you feel like Ryan will remember when he would wake back up and go, oh, right, Shiv just had me killed.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just wasn't sure. It made me think, like, hey, I wonder if the lower staff folks are.
It's my understanding that it is.
Well.
Even though I've seen it all, some of it's hazy.
George brings up the fact that the Lazarus Project tortures people. We mentioned this kind of are they the good guys or aren't they? And that comes up again where people, you're going to question, are these the good guys, aren't they? But they're, and there's that moment where Reborov is talking to Shiv, and Shiv's like, yeah, I thought about it, and yeah, we're the good guys. So Archie defends the practice of the torture.
Yes.
And it's an interesting little moral conundrum. But I do get the feeling that George is just really looking for any excuse to justify screwing them over. Like, he wants Sarah back.
Right.
They said no.
Yes.
And so it would help him to rationalize betraying them if they're the bad guys. So it's like, aha, see? You guys torture people. All right, fine, I can do whatever I want. I kind of feel like that's where that's coming from. Or maybe I know what your thoughts were on.
Do you think that torture is all right?
I do not.
Okay, so his point about that is not a bad one. Or he may be like, okay, something is wrong with this group, and they're doing all this stuff, and so it makes it okay that what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from, because he's like, okay, now I can kill people and do all that because it's fine, because you guys he's made them the villain, and maybe they are the villain. I guess that's yet to be seen. But
yes.
Yeah, I think either way he'd be like, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do, but now I feel a little better about it. You're like, see, you're no better than me. One of the things we learned from the flashback, which we talked about, is we now know that the Lazarus Project was active as early as 1981.
Yes.
There was obviously a reset in 81.
Yes.
Other than COVID, which they mentioned they helped to fix.
9/11. Which they didn't.
They did not. It seems that their resets are primarily war related.
Well, and they were involved with COVID.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So there's the one.
Yes.
There's the one example of COVID. I think it would be interesting to see other non-war related scenarios.
Yeah, but I guess those worldwide catastrophes really that they can prevent, because for some, I guess they could tell everybody in the Lazarus Project, okay, buckle up, now we're going to do climate change.
Right. Well, I mean, I was trying to think back to like a calamity that happened that wasn't war related. But for instance, something that could have gone way wrong, still went wrong, but could have gone way wrong, was like, what was that? The tsunami that hit Japan,
right? And
it wrecked their nuclear reactor. I was just trying to think, like, if you hit reset on that, because like Japan was destroyed, let's say,
right?
How do you go about fixing that with like 3 months?
Wow.
Like, you're like, okay, wait, there's a tsunami, it's coming. You need to do this. You need to move that out of the way. I don't know. Like, it would. Like, how would you even approach?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you would. I guess make the power plant less lethal or whatever.
Yeah, or put up. You have to convince them though too, right? I
yes.
mean, like,
yes.
You got to convince a government.
Yes.
That they're going to have to put up a giant seawall really fast. And in fact, like if you're a Reborov type, if you want a catastrophe to actually happen, it seems like Reborov does. Also, somebody like Reborov knows about the resets. So that if you know about the resets and you want to cause a permanent catastrophe, surely you plan it for July 1st, right? Because then the Lazarus folks are going to try a few times to go back and stop it. But if you do it, if you time it right, they've only got, who knows, minutes, an hour. Like, they would eventually just give up and be like, fine, we literally can only go back 5 minutes. Screw you, Reborov.
Look at you trying to help him. Listen to me, Reborov. Let me help you out.
I feel it. Just saying. You want to destroy the world July 1st. Why are you waiting till December? What the hell, man? Give all that time to track you down.
It's like, I question your commitment. It's like...
Right. Exactly. It is one of the big limiting factors of these resets is depending on when it happens, you only got so many minutes to solve it, or hours or days or months.
Yes.
So just don't, you'd be an idiot if you were like, I'm going to wait till June 29th. You're like, come on, man. What are you doing? It's kind of the interesting part is George's moral conundrum that he's bought in. I love the fact that bit where Sarah's dad's talking to him. He hasn't even planned the funeral yet because he's not thinking about it. It's like she's not going to be dead.
Yes.
So he's like, I'll handle it. What he's saying, without saying it out loud. I'll handle it by bringing her back to life. Just what he's willing to do, to accomplish that. He's already gone and gotten this detonator. He's gone to Romania. He's killed a guy, shot a guy down. He's ordered another guy's execution. It's all in the name of bringing her back. So
and even to the point when he's confronted by Shiv, who still wants to believe that he can
you're not
make a different choice, is that he's it's starting to get funny to him, exactly what he has to do. It's like, okay, you really want to try to stop me? Okay, fine, but I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, which is great too. That's some great conflict, where that goes, because assuming he succeeds, then you've got, how does he fit into the Lazarus Project? George.
Right.
How does Shiv fit in? How do there's obviously that's a shoe to drop. Because then also, let's assume for a second, I think we brought this up in the last episode. If he succeeds and he goes on the run, well, okay, that's a great life I've got with Sarah. We're hunted fugitives and she has no idea why, and I have to kind of half explain it to her, and so it completely changes the nature of their relationship.
True, but they have set up though that right now, Shiv looks like he killed someone, and it looks like he's in league with
the Lost Glory.
With Rebrov, actually.
Well, right. I guess that's where it's going. But the idea that George. So if that's true, then you're gonna, I assume, have scenes of George actually back in the Lazarus Project, going like, no follow-up questions, but Shiv's terrible, and he's the bad guy. Like, don't look too close, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I was in Romania, blah, blah, blah. What was I doing in Barcelona? I'm running of the bulls. That's Pamplona, but close enough. Anyway, how many episodes before they blow the bomb? And maybe, it sounds like, but
yes, I do.
He's driving towards it now, so you might think it's within minutes of the next episode starting. But we'll be back for episode 5. Thank you as always, Paul. Appreciate it, good sir.
You're welcome.
And we'll talk to everybody next time.
Bye.
Bye.